In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can become an insurance advisor in the UK. So did you know that actually to be an insurance advisor in the UK, you don't need any qualifications at all? I built an insurance brokerage after the credit crunch from 2009 up until 2015, and every single one of my 13 people on the team in 2015 had no previous experience or financial services qualifications. Now, some of you may think that's stupid, but I come from a background of Alexander Hall, Woolwich, Connells, and I have been a compliance and sales manager. So I know the process, I know what's required, and I was able to train them to do the job without any preconceptions, to do it in the best way possible for the clients that we were arranging protection and insurances for. So the main thing with becoming an insurance advisor is finding somewhere where you can do the job. Now, in some instances, a network or an employer may require you to have CMAP 1, or they may require you to have a CII qualification. I think mainly one of the most important things that you should have is actually the ability to communicate. To be able to have a conversation. If you've got previous sales experience, that can be extremely useful, because protection, everybody needs it, but nobody wants it. And I think it's a great opportunity to come into the financial services industry and gain industry knowledge and experience before moving on to, say, becoming a mortgage advisor. Because more often than not, what I see with the industry, and I've got communities of thousands of mortgage and protection advisors and insurance advisors that I support. And what I see within those industries is the first thing that a mortgage advisor does when they get busy, they forget or they don't have time to arrange the insurance. And I think that's unethical. How can you give somebody the largest possible debt that they're likely to take on in their lifetime and not cover them for things like life insurance, critical illness, income protection, have a conversation about health insurance, make sure that the home insurance is protected? Because even some of the best insurance advisors don't do home insurance when they arrange a mortgage. But it's the perfect reason and excuse to talk to your clients every single 12 months. What you've got to appreciate is that the insurance companies are using you generally as a lead generator. Because in order for your client, to gain their policy documents, to get a hold of their schedule, to get their information, once you have arranged the insurance with any number of the insurance companies that are out there, how do they get their documents? They log into the insurer's portal. And guess what happens when they're inside that insurer's portal? The insurer starts positioning other products to them. So they're trying to steal your client. You need to think about customer retention. And one of the biggest and best ways that you can do that is to look at protection, is to make sure that you're insuring your clients, is to look at home insurance as a means to have a reason to talk to them every year. The same as health insurance is a reason to talk to people every single year. You can either be a GP, and you can try and do mortgages, you can try and do insurance, you can try and do wills, you can try and do equity release. But at the end of the day, would you rather not be a consultant where you just focus on one particular area? I don't think it's possible to be a consultant in mortgages and a consultant in insurance, because the two things are completely different. And let's say, we use on average within my brokerage 40 to 50 lenders every single year for our clients. And then within the insurance side of things, we have access to around about 18 different lenders. How can you know both of those inside out? And how can you understand the processes? How can you give the best advice? How can you know all the add-on, bolt-on benefits that you get with some insurers for free? So I think insurance, the protection gap is huge. And there's a massive opportunity to look after clients, to do the best for them, and for you to make a decent family living. Now, the one thing to make you aware of in the insurance world in the UK is you do have what's called clawback. So on average, for every £10 that a customer spends, the insurance company would generally pay £200. So if you do a £100 policy per month, then you're going to get roughly £2,000. Now you've got to imagine that the client's got to pay that premium per month, every month, for at least 20 months before the insurance company actually makes a profit. So what actually happens is, if the client cancelled after 12 months, they paid you £2,000 for example, they're going to claw back and take away £1,000. So the idea is you need to sell policies that are, or you need to advise on policies as well as sell them, because insurance does have to be sold, that are the most suitable for your client, that are affordable to your client. Now there is an alternative option to taking indemnity commissions where you take it all up front, which is to take it on non-indemnity, where you can get paid it over a 2 or even a 4-year period. The advantage of doing that is if a client were to cancel, because you're getting it monthly, you don't suffer a huge clawback. But the disadvantage to doing that is you need to actually have an income. You know, your income's going to take longer to build because you're getting smaller amounts every month rather than lump sums up front. And one of the ways in which I advise people to do that is to say, put a premium limit in. So anything under £100 per month, take it up front. And then anything over £100, take it on the drip, on non-indemnity. And then over time, as your drip income starts to feed in more and more and more, you can start to reduce the threshold from £100 a month to £90 a month, to 80 to 70 to 60, until all of your money is coming in as a guaranteed monthly sum. I know advisors who make fortunes out of arranging insurance and selling insurance. The big things that you need to understand is how to communicate. That people don't buy features, they buy benefits. Nobody wants insurance, but everybody needs it. So you need to paint a picture of what life is going to be like in the future if they don't have the insurance in place. You can only do that by understanding your client better. And that's where it's about conversation. It's about treating them like your best friend. How would you advise your best friend to safeguard the future of their family? What would you put in place for your family, for their family, if you were advising them? And not being afraid to have the difficult conversations. Because when somebody says no, there's a reason why, but it's generally because they haven't seen the value in it. And I believe that's because you haven't made it clear enough in how their problems are going to happen. You know, if you don't have any life insurance and you were to die, what happens in the event of that? And there's a great sales technique that you could use, which is called TED. And it's using things like tell me, explain to me, describe to me. And that can work really, really well. So tell me how you'd feel in the event of this. Explain to me what life would be like in blah, blah, blah. Describe to me how your kids would. You start opening up questions like that, it gets them thinking, it gets them to paint a picture of what life's going to be like in the future. And there is no more gratifying feeling than knowing that you've done a proper job, that you've protected your client, and that you've made sure that should the worst happen to them in the future, that they haven't got to worry about moving into rented accommodation. They haven't got to worry about getting letters from mortgage companies because they haven't been able to pay their monthly direct debits because the main earner in the household has gone and lost their job, had an accident, suffered a critical illness, or worst case scenario, even died. You need to make sure that you have the confidence and the product knowledge to have the bullshit conversations that need to be had, because this is real. This isn't just about being an order taker or arranging a mortgage. This is about giving advice. This is about disturbance. This is about putting people into the shoes of where they could potentially be if they don't do anything. How would they feel? What would life be like? And you need to make sure that you do a proper job to protect them. So I think being an insurance advisor in the UK is a great opportunity. But you need to find the right firm to work within. You need to find the right training. You need to find the right guidance. And you need to improve your sales skills and your communication skills so that you can then start to provide the best possible advice. So if you've enjoyed this video, then make sure that you like, but you also comment. Let me know your feedback. And go on to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure that you turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos that are coming on out. And I do also have a group over on Facebook called the Protection Pro Community. If you're in the industry, if you're an insurance advisor, if you're selling or arranging protection for your clients, then come on in. Let's continue the conversation. I'd love to get to know you better. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.